Hello guys and welcome to episode 32 of Minecraft Plum's Plum Lab series. So what are we doing in today's episode, guys? Well, I said we were upgrading that reactor last episode and that's what I want to get onto, but first things first, we're going to need a good source of ender for the upgrades that I want to do. And if I'm honest, just that simple mob farm we've got outside isn't quite going to cut the mustard. So what I want to get myself is a thing called a mob duplicator. This is exactly what I want to be utilising in this episode to make ourselves a pretty cool Enderman farm. So this guy, what he requires, I believe, is he requires mob essence, which is going to be from these guys. He also requires some kind of... basically, he needs to know exactly what mob you want him to duplicate. So what I'm going to have to do is I'm going to have to get myself some fluid ducts, and I'm also going to have to get myself some power going over here. So if I'm honest, let's go and see what we can get in terms of power. And so we need some flux ducts. If I'm honest, I really do need to get myself some wireless refined storage system stuff going on. That'll definitely be pretty helpful. So we need some fluid ducts, and if I'm honest, we don't really have too many of these actually. So let's see if we can make just a few more. And can we also get ourselves a... let's see. What was going to need... oh, some servos. Servos definitely going to be helpful. So if I'm honest, I might actually go for... oh, we had iron nuggets? Yeah, I think... let's go for the hardened ones. I think hardened ones are going to be probably the best idea. So let me get my engineer's manual out of my inventory, since I don't think we're going to need it. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to punch a quick hole real quick, and I think, where am I going to put this guy? I think we've got the tree farm over there, we've got our, I suppose, other tree farm over here. What I might do is stick this guy over here. Now the sound is going to be muffled because of the sound muffler. I think if anything I might take this guy out, just so we can actually, you know, hear what we're doing while we're over here. So I might stick this guy in here. Now, one thing I will definitely need to do is see your working area. So is your working area, is it going to project into here? It's exactly what I want to know. Okay, you appear to go right above you, which if I'm honest is not really what I was hoping you would do. Which isn't, you know, it's not the end of the world, but if I'm honest, it's not quite what I was hoping for. So I believe, I'm just trying to find the centre of the room real quick. I believe, is this the centre of the room here? I believe this is probably the centre of the room. And you have an item duct going straight underneath you, so that's not... if I'm honest, what I'm going to do is probably reroute this guy, just so I can have my fluid system. I think I'm one of those people that does like to have things centralised, and if I'm honest, for the sake of that, I might as well go get it centralised. So I think I'm going to go have a quick sleep, guys, and I'll be right back. Okay, so I've had a quick sleep through the night, got myself some more, or the remainder of the item ducts that I had in my refined storage system. And let's see if I can reroute this guy. Yeah, so that guy, you know, can easily be rerouted. Now, the only thing is this guy he requires power and he requires fluid. And the only problem is the only way I really want to interface with this guy is underneath. So if I'm honest, I'm almost thinking that Ender.io might actually be the way to go here rather than using the thermal expansion conduits. So the only problem is it also needs two things, and it basically means I'm going to have to do this whole dual thing. And I don't really want to have exposed wires and stuff sticking out. So I am almost tempted to run myself some Ender.io stuff. But if I'm honest, you know what? I think we can live with it. It's going to look a little bit messy. It's not going to look 100%, I'm going to admit. But I think we're going to be able to do this. So first things first, I'm going to get these guys and set these guys to extract. So you guys are going to be extracting the fluid essence, and what I'm going to do is, okay, your power, which is probably helpful to know actually. Can I reroute you through here? You're not going to have any problems. Okay, to stop me losing fluid essence, I think what I might do is drill out the area first before I then connect it up at the end. So can I morph into something that could be potentially helpful here? I could probably morph into this guy, and it might help me fit into some smaller spaces real quick. I'm not sure how, but yeah, there we go. I think this has made life a little bit easier. So you are the intake of the fluids, and oh, I did not mean to break you. In fact, this could have probably made my life a hell of a lot easier, I must admit. When I was doing wiring before, but like I said, I don't think this is quite the end of the world. So this is where the machine's gonna go, basically. So if I route the fluids up to there, and I might have the power going at the back. Sound like a plan, guys? I think that sounds like a plan. I'm gonna have to have these guys running in tandem. So if I run, this is all underground, so I'm not gonna like see any of this. So if I run power, okay, these are different conduits, but if I'm honest, I don't think they make too big of a deal. So if I then route these guys here, a little bit messy. I know this is like I won't say the worst wiring job I've ever done, but this is definitely not the neatest wiring job I've ever done. So if I stick a mob duplicator here, this guy now should have power and mob essence. Bingo. Now all we need is some way of basically capturing a mob and putting it inside. Now, if I'm honest, I think this method has changed quite dramatically of how you get the mob duplicator to actually work. So I think what I'm tempted to do, guys, is actually go and research how this works, and I'll be right back. Okay, so I believe the way you do it is you need a mob imprisonment tool to be able to get this guy to actually work. So if I'm honest, if I get myself out of the butterfly mode, so this guy basically what he needs a mob imprisonment tool, and then you basically have to imprison the mob, and that's basically how you get this guy to work. So we did get a ghast tier last episode, if you remember, I was basically going hunting ghasts. So I'm going to need that guy again. Now, this guy, I believe we probably should be able to make off the back. Sure, we got like one ghast tier last episode, which is pretty lucky if I'm honest. So what I'm going to have to do, guys, I'm going to have to go find an Enderman, and we'll be right back. Okay, so I think I saw one teleport over here. Yes, I did. I think so. I've seen an Enderman teleport over here, which is kind of neat. But the only problem is, I'm kind of surrounded by skeletons, and I'm getting absolutely murdered by the skeletons. So are you going to let me pick? Yes! There we go. So we now have a mob imprisoned Enderman. How cool is that, guys? So, if I'm honest, I don't know why, but the mob spawn rate over here seems to be really, really prevalent. I'm not sure why. But like I said, mobs are just spawning like absolutely crazy around here. I'm not quite sure why, but they are. So we're going to have to deal with it. Now, one thing I'm going to go quickly do, actually, is get myself some baked potato. Whoa, you are out of power. And if I'm honest, I think you're out of power. Well, I'm surprised this guy's still running, actually. Although he's probably running off of a backup power, actually. Yeah, he's probably just because I think that just trickles power. He's probably just barely running off the backup generators. Did I leave the quarry running again, or did I just... I don't believe I left the quarry running. No, the quarry is not running. So I don't know what drained all of the power. Yeah, I'm not quite sure what drained all of the power there, but... yeah, we definitely drained quite a little bit of that power. So what I'm going to go and do is I believe... did I put some potatoes away? I believe they probably ended up in here, actually. Yeah, so we've got a stack of baked potatoes in here, which is definitely needed, considering we do need some food. Yep, this guy's getting some power, so we're doing good. So what I'm going to do is, I'm going to go quickly sleep, guys, and we'll be right back. Okay, guys, quickly slept through the night, and I believe we're basically ready to get this guy going. So, like I say, it requires mob essence, and I believe if I stick this guy in here, he's now going to start working on generating us some mobs. Now, the only other thing, which is going to be an ever so slight painful... why are you... hang on, you're getting power, but you don't appear to have connected. Is it because of... ah, there we go. I did wonder, I was like, how is this guy working if he is not connected to anything? But yeah, it's just because of that the fact that we paused him. So we can get him to interact with redstone, and it does kind of lead us on the other problem is this is when you really want Ender IO to do it, because you can basically put all conduits in one block rather than having it like this. We've got, like, conduits in separate blocks. So it'd make life look a little bit neater for us, but if I'm honest... I don't know when we're really going to shut this guy down. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go and quickly close that guy up. I could probably do and get myself some cobblestone, actually, since I did kind of tear the wall down and didn't think I'd need some cobblestone to go and repair that hole. Repairing our refined storage system might be something we're going to have to do in the future as well, actually. So are you now going to work? So you hopefully should be working, if I just quickly double check. You are going through, so why are you... this guy hopefully should be working. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to quickly patch this guy up, turn the lights off, and hopefully we should get some mob spawning. So if I turn all these guys off, are you now going to start spawning Enderman for us? I'm not sure... you will, if I'm honest, I think I know what the problem is, guys. That's me being a derp. That's definitely me being a derp. This is where me, having not played with the mod for a while, it's definitely starting to show just a little bit. And it's with the fact that Endermen are obviously 3 blocks tall, and I'm trying to put them in an area where they would basically bang their head. So I believe that's the reason why they're not spawning. So I believe I need to put this guy in the floor. There we go. So hopefully now if this guy's in the floor, he's going to start filling it with essence and stuff again. I might give him just a little bit of time just to quickly catch up. We should have... Yeah, by the looks of it, we've got plenty of stuff in the tank. So are you connected? Or that I failed to connect you up? I feel like I've failed to connect this guy up somehow. Did I... What have I done? I feel like I've broken the system somehow, guys. How have I broken the system? Just as I thought the system was working well, and now I've also somehow managed to get myself trapped. This episode is not going well for me, I must admit. I'm also probably going to start suffocating now as well. Yeah. So why are you not actually extracting your fluids like you're supposed to? I never connected that up, did I? So all that fluid that was in there before was just residual fluid. Derping again, guys. It's been a long day. This is what I get for going to university and then, like, trying to record YouTube videos afterwards, I swear. So hopefully, this guy should now be... I don't think he even needed an extra fluid duct. So if I now connect you up, and I stick the mob duplicator in you... Yep. Endermen are now spawning. They're very loud because I've not got the sound muffler in. But we're getting Endermen spawning. So, like I said, we've not got any real way to turn off the Enderman spawning as it speaks. The only thing that's going to turn it off is the fact that we're eventually going to run out of mob essence as long as if we don't run the normal farm. But if I'm honest, guys, I'm pretty happy with that. So if I look in the mob crusher, I'm just going to see what items we're actually getting. So we're getting some, hopefully some ender pearls. Okay, we appear to just be getting these infinity thingamajiggies. Oh, yep, ender pearls. And you're probably wondering, why the hell do we need lots of ender pearls? And if I'm honest, guys, that's a pretty interesting question, why we need ender pearls. And the main thing, in fact, I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to leave this guy on, because if I'm honest, I just really want him to use, Enderman for now. I'm not, overly bothered about him going through normal mobs at the minute. Since we have mostly all the other mobs we've got plenty of drops for, it's just Enderman we're a little bit low for. So now we have automated Enderman going. Now, let's have a look at our number of ender pearls. We've still got 20, since, if I'm honest... Is there a direct import into the system? I believe there's a direct import. Yeah, I believe it directly imports items into the system. So hopefully we should be getting some ender pearls. It's probably a little bit slower if I'm honest. Now if I quickly look up ender pearls, yeah. So I've got 20, but what I'm thinking is they're just going to take a little bit of a while to get over here. So the reason I want ender pearls, and it's for a very specific reason, and it's to improve our reactor quite dramatically. So I'm going to go in this magma crucible, and I'm going to go and basically melt some ender pearls down. Now, if I'm honest, this guy's a little bit slow, so what I might do is get myself a hardened upgrade. Hardened upgrade kit. Pretty, cheap to make. Do we have any bronze gears? Okay, we don't have any bronze. I believe bronze isn't an overly expensive gas. We can make them in the arc furnace, technically, using copper and tin. Arc furnace recycling, we can do that casting redstone furnace. So I'm just trying to see what's the best way to make this guy. Okay, we can do it with tin and copper, but can we do it with... Do we have to do it with the dust? Okay, you don't have to do it with the dust, you can do it with the tin and the copper anyway. So I'm going to get myself some copper and some tin. I'm just going to go and stick this in the induction smelter just to make a little bit of it. And hopefully we should be able to be on our way to make our reactor a little bit more efficient. Now, if I'm honest, the way we've got this reactor set up at the minute, I believe the only the water essentially isn't doing anything. Because from what I've researched, it's only the blocks that are coming directly off of the actual where the reactor is, where you actually generate where any coolant matters. So the fact that we've just got iron solidly around it, that's the only thing conducting any of the heat is just purely the iron. Now, if I'm honest, that's not necessarily the most efficient way of doing things. So what I'm going to go and quickly do real quick is see if now we can make that hardened upgrade. I believe now we should have everything to make a hardened upgrade. Yes, we do. So we can at least make this guy a little bit more efficient. And what he should be doing is he should be piping everything into here. So we've got some resonant ender, and if I'm honest, this stuff is really good for cooling stuff down. So good. Now our ender pearls are actually coming through. I'm going to stick these guys in here. They only stack up to 16, which is a little bit of a pain, but not quite the end of the world. Now, one thing I'm definitely going to need to make myself is quite a few buckets. Now, buckets do stack also up to 16, and what I'm hoping is we should be able to make a decent amount of this resonant ender. And like I said, this stuff is really good for cooling down your reactor. It's basically sort of a middle tier one, I want to say. It's not like it's not as good as something like so I think it's cryothium, which is like the best stuff. But if I'm honest, it's pretty cool. Like, you're not going to go wrong with having this in your reactor. Now, one thing I'm probably going to need quite a bit more of is this reactor casing. Now, because what I'm going to do is also expand the size of the reactor just so we can, make a little bit more power. We're probably going to go for a turbine setup at some point, but if I'm honest, I don't think we are, any sort of problems with that kind of stuff yet. I think we're doing okay for that, if I'm honest. We need graphite bars, quite a bit of iron and reactor core casing. So by the looks of it, it's graphite bars we're going to need quite a bit of. I'm going to make some more of this. Is that all the graphite bars we're out of? Or is that the gold nuggets? I believe that was the gold nuggets. So yeah, also we're out of graphite bars. So what I'm going to do is going to get some coal smelting on the way. And hopefully you go into graphite bars. I'm pretty sure these guys go into graphite bars. Now, have I augmented? This guy isn't augmented, so I'm tempted to augment this guy as well, actually. Can I augment you? Yes, I can. So let me quickly get that. I just put that guy in there, didn't I? Or did I? Where did that guy go? Did I not craft you? No, I didn't. So let's now stick this guy in here. There we go. So this guy should be going just a little bit quicker. You can see this guy's on like 47 already, and this guy's only on like 58. So it does definitely make for a good increase in speed. So can I now stick some more of you in here? Since we're now... Yeah, I've got 3 buckets, so we're not doing awfully. We're going to need quite a bit more of this stuff later down the episodes. But if I'm honest, I think as much as we're, just a little bit shy of the usual wrapping up point, I think I'm going to end the episode off here, since, it's going to be quite a big undertaking upgrading this reactor. So as much as I said last episode we'd do it this episode, I think, we're basically at the stage where we now have automated Enderman farming, which, if I'm honest, is pretty cool, actually. The fact that we now have a basically unlimited supply of ender pearls going, providing we have power. I'm pretty happy with that. The fact that, we can now just do this. We can just keep smelting the ender pearls down, and we have some pretty good reactor coolant on the way. So thank you for watching, guys. Hope you have enjoyed this video. Goodbye from Plum.